guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here, and welcome back to an all new Black Ops 3 Zombies video. And today we're going to be talking about the Moon remake, which everyone's been assuming for quite some time. And I'm going to be talking about why I think it still will be happening, even though the Moon was blown up at the end of the Der Eisendrache Easter egg. Now you may be thinking, well, what the hell are you talking about? You're a complete idiot, it's blown up. There's no possible way we could be getting a Moon remake or an entirely new Moon map if the freaking Moon is gone. But honestly, I just think that assumption is just in complete denial, and I think the complete opposite of that. I definitely think at some point either we're going to be getting a Moon remake or we're going to be getting an entirely new map set on the Moon. By this I mean a completely brand new map, a new area, a new layout, but it's set somewhere else on the Moon, or maybe a prequel to the Moon or after the events of the original Moon, so that the actual map is completely different. Now this idea of this new Moon map, which we've all been anticipating for quite some time, I think the idea of it is something that we don't truly understand, and is something that we never will truly understand. I think Treyarch will pull off this map in such an amazing way that it will sort of blow our minds, and even though we've been expecting this Moon map, as I said, either a remake or a brand new map, I think when it comes we will still be surprised. If it were to happen, I'm not sure when they would release it. I was thinking maybe DLC 4, but I've got another idea for a DLC 4, so maybe it could be released as a separate micro DLC or maybe even in its own map pack. But before I jump into my reasonings as to why I still think there will be this new Moon map in Black Ops 3 Zombies, I'm first of all going to go over every single teaser that Treyarch have given us so far towards there being a Moon remake or a new Moon map, because Treyarch have teased this more than anything that they have ever teased before. Not one thing they've ever teased has been this prominent and is this strong towards one direction other than this. So first of all, when Treyarch first started teasing Moon returning in Black Ops 3 Zombies, they actually started teasing it in March of 2015. That's how long this advertising campaign has been going for this Moon remake. If you were unaware, at DICE 2015 they gave a presentation about the history of zombies, and they just talked about how it came from this just small little project and it just exploded into what it is today. But within that presentation they actually left 34 hints towards Black Ops 3, and within this event they actually did tease the fact that we would in fact be getting the Der Riese remake, aka The Giant, as they showed a new loading screen which was completely different to the original one. From that point onwards, we pretty much knew there was going to be a Der Riese remake in Black Ops 3 Zombies, and it did in fact come into full fruition. They also teased out the fact that Richtofen would in fact die. There were lots of other teasers as well, but I'm not going to delve into them in today's video. So within this presentation they left lots of hints towards this Moon remake. One of these was actually the perk, the speed cola bottle that can be seen on the Moon loading screen, which was in the background of this image. And we can see all of these references here as well that are literally just ripped out of the Moon loading screen and just scrapped onto this image. Now there were a lot more teasers towards this Moon remake left in there as well. I mean, they showed some 935 logos that were specific to Moon. That was one of the things that they actually teased to us. But let's move on to the next teaser. So a couple weeks after we actually got the Shadows of Evil reveal trailer, when Black Ops 3 Zombies was first revealed at Comic-Con in 2015. A couple weeks after that, Treyarch posted this on all social media. They showed the blueprint, or the model should I say, of the wave gun from Moon, and they said that it would be starring in a future live action trailer. Now this image of the wave gun is obviously from the Zombie Labs trailer that we got for the Resurrection DLC for Black Ops 1, so it's certainly not a new image, but the fact that Treyarch reposted this image suggesting that we would be seeing the wave gun in a future live action trailer once again suggests that Moon is going to be returning. Obviously the wave gun was specific to Moon, and it could possibly be returning in another map, but I'm not sure why they would be bringing back a wonder weapon in a map that isn't the original map it was featured in. So at some point in the future we will be seeing a live action trailer which will be starring this wave gun. And as I was saying, I would presume that this is in fact for this Moon remake, or maybe this gun will be returning in a future DLC map, but I just find it a bit unlikely. Now next up we have the biggest teaser of all towards this Moon, towards Moon returning. As I said, this could be in the form of a remake, or it could be in the form of an entirely new Moon map. Now this is why I think it's about 99% that we're going to be getting this Moon remake, because what I'm about to show you, there's no way Treyarch would give us this unless Moon were to be returning. And I'm sure you probably already know about this already, since about 1 million people have made videos on it, but everyone just copied mine. So on the same day that we actually got the Giants gameplay trailer, well, when they actually showed that, they did also release a brand new trailer on Treyarch's YouTube channel, and it was titled A Brief History of Call of Duty Zombies, or something like that. And essentially this trailer was like a massive montage of a lot of the Zombies maps that have been throughout World at War all the way to Black Ops 2. However, within this trailer, it was very weird because they only showed specific Zombies maps. They didn't show all of them, and you would think if it was going to be a brief history that they would show all of them, they would just condense them down. Otherwise it wouldn't be a true history, and also they left out a lot of the important maps from this actual montage. If it were to be a brief history, you would think that they would include the most important maps to the storyline, but they didn't. They didn't even show any Moon gameplay or anything like that. Well, for a brief second within this trailer, they did actually show a brand new Moon loading screen, which you can actually see on screen now. And right now I'm going to break down this loading screen and tell you guys how it's different to the original one. The adverts on our left hand side, well, the adverts are completely different and changed. Another thing to note is that the tear on the bottom of the original Moon loading screen, which showed Shangri-La in the background, well, that's now completely gone also. Also, the image on the bottom right hand corner to the left slightly, where it shows the astronauts, well, on the original Moon loading screen the astronauts were moving away from us. However, on this new Moon loading screen the astronauts are actually moving towards us. Furthermore, the Moon base isn't even on this loading screen whatsoever on the new Moon loading screen. Also, in the bottom right hand corner, instead of there being the astronaut there like within the original Moon loading screen, there is in fact Samantha. Now what the hell does this mean to the story? Now another huge thing that was actually teased within this map loading screen is, well, on the new loading screen, as I was saying, they didn't show the rip in the corner where they originally showed they showed Shangri-La in the background on the original loading screen. Well, what they actually did on this brand new loading screen is they actually showed in the bottom right hand corner of this new loading screen, well, they showed Samantha, and Samantha is on Shangri-La. Now right now I'll actually put Samantha and compare it to the original Shangri-La loading screen, and you can see that the Samantha image that is actually on the brand new Moon loading screen fits directly into the original Shangri-La loading screen. This is absolutely huge and is absolutely insane. I have no idea what could this mean to the storyline. So as you can see, the loading screen is completely different to the original Moon loading screen, and you may be thinking, well, how does this actually tease a Moon remake? Well, if you remember all the way back to DICE Summit of 2015, where Treyarch actually teased the BO3 remake, they did it in a similar fashion. They showed a brand new BO3 loading screen that was different from the original one. The Treyarch are not going to give us a brand new loading screen for a map that doesn't exist. Hear me out. Treyarch are never going to do this. Never in a million years will they troll us this hard. Give me one good reason why Treyarch would give us a loading screen for a map that is never going to be released and is never going to happen. It's just not possible. Imagine if Treyarch came out and gave us a loading screen, a new loading screen for a map that hasn't been released yet, but then it never came out. It's just not going to happen. Now, to further actually back this up, on this brand new Moon loading screen, they do actually show Samantha, as I was just talking about, and we can see that this actually directly fits into the Shangri-La loading screen. But upon further interpretations, we can actually see that not only does this segment fit into the Shangri-La loading screen, but it also fits into the original Moon loading screen. So from this we can see that Samantha is shown to be in Shangri-La, on this loading screen, because at the moment, in the storyline that we've been getting throughout Black Ops 3 Zombies, we don't actually know where Samantha is, because we see the MPD open within Der Eisendrache, but Samantha is not inside. And the whole reason for Samantha being in control of the zombies was that she was actually within the MPD on the moon, which gave her full control of the zombies. And obviously how Richtofen took control of the zombies was that he essentially took over Samantha's brain. He went inside her, essentially. That sounds so pedophilic. But what I'm saying is that she's no longer inside there, so how the hell are the zombies' eyes still yellow? How is Samantha still in control, or is she not in control, and there is another much more powerful force either controlling her, or it's just in full control? I definitely think this is the case. Obviously, time's being rewritten, so the original timeline that we knew is sort of being erased and rewritten, so the events that we saw on the original moon essentially never happened. But who is in control, we're not going to know for quite some time. I would definitely think it's some sort of demon-like force, possibly relating to Cthulhu, or maybe even someone much darker than him. But yeah, for some reason it shows Samantha on Shangri-La. Maybe that's where she is at this current point in this reoccurring, or should I say reversed timeline. But that's not the exact point I was trying to get across, because if we actually look at the skyline of this loading screen, we can see that not only does it fit in directly with the Shangri-La loading screen, but also fits directly with the old moon loading screen. The moon skyline is identical to the skyline of that on Shangri-La. What the actual hell does this mean? Obviously, the most obvious one would be that Shangri-La is on the moon, because it's the only true explanation as to why the skylines are exactly the same, but that makes absolutely no sense. Why the hell are the moon and Shangri-La skylines exactly the same? They can't be on, Shangri-La cannot be on the moon, because it wouldn't make any sense of how we can breathe on Shangri-La and how it's all vegetated, etc, etc. So why the hell are these skylines the same? It makes no sense whatsoever. If you have any suggestions down in the comment section down below of how the hell the skylines on Shangri-La and also the moon are identical, just let me know, because at the moment I have absolutely no idea what this means. Maybe it's something to do with temporal displacement or something like that, but it doesn't make any sense why they're exactly the same. Maybe Shangri-La gets displaced on the moon or the other way around, but again that wouldn't make any sense, because that wouldn't explain why the original map we were playing had the same skyline. But then again, it is just the loading screen, so maybe the loading screen is portraying the map that has been displaced. But moving further on, there is actually another Easter egg on the multiplayer map Combine, which again shows the blueprint of the wave gun, which again hints that the wave gun will be returning within Black Ops 3 Zombies, and if it is returning, then most likely Moon will be returning as well. And not only is there that, if you actually look on the Giants loading screen, we can actually see that there is a blueprint of the wave gun in the background of it as well, again suggesting that the wave gun is returning, which would mean that Moon is returning also. Not only that, but on the Giant, there is also the Easter egg song, which is the Beauty of Annihilation remix, and part of the song has actually been changed from the original. Obviously it is a remix, but they've actually added in the Moon's song, the theme song, the one that we all knew from Moon, and you can actually hear it in the background of the song. So as you can see, it's just even more evidence to the fact that Moon will be returning. Now there's tons and tons of other teasers that Treyarch have given us, and I've probably missed a lot of them out, to be honest. But if you're thinking at this point that none of this matters, it doesn't matter whatsoever, you're just in complete denial. Because even though the moon has actually been blown up, I will be explaining in a second as to the absolute millennia of ways that Treyarch can still pull this off. But if we actually look on Treyarch's Twitter, just yesterday they gave us another teaser towards Moon actually returning. So they tweeted out this picture which was actually for Valentine's Day, which was of the Magua from Shadows of Evil. And in response to that, a guy called Deadshot_ZA actually tweeted a picture of Moon, and he said, "I love you to the moon and back." Then Treyarch responded to this, and they actually said, "It's like you're in our minds," or something. Now, if you're telling me that there isn't going to be a Moon remake, you're completely blindsided. I'm not trying to be harsh or anything, but there's just no possible way. Treyarch very rarely respond to people on their main Twitter account. They very rarely do so, and the fact that they responded to this, hinting that they're essentially in their minds or something, like they're thinking alike, again just hints at this fact that we will be seeing Moon returning within Black Ops 3. I know you're allowed to think differently to me, but I just don't see any reason of how anyone could disagree with this. But let's jump into the reasons as to why we could be seeing Moon returning within Black Ops 3 Zombies. So if you're unaware, obviously the Moon was blown up at the end of the Dirt Ice and Rocket Easter egg. However, the amount of rockets that were shot up are physically impossible to actually destroy the Moon. But obviously this means nothing in terms of the storyline, as it is just a video game and it doesn't have to correlate with real life. However, the Moon doesn't actually get fully exploded, as in the fact that if it was fully exploded, the Moon would be fully disintegrated. We wouldn't be able to see it in the sky. It would just be a cloud of ash and ruins. Instead, the Moon has actually just been cracked open into a millennia of different shards. Now, what this means is that the Moon still has a gravitational potential pull, and what will actually happen over time is that these shards will all start to clump together to the center of that pull, and all of these shards will clump together and will piece the Moon back together. This will happen and is inevitable. The Moon wasn't fully destroyed, and therefore gravity will pull all of the pieces together. Now this will mean that the Moon will, yes, be very destroyed, and there will be lots of cracks in it, and it will be very weak and possibly smaller than the original one, but just due to the nature of physics, the Moon will pull itself back together. So I think this is one of the ways that we could be seeing Moon returning within Black Ops 3 Zombies, is the fact that the pull pulls the Moon's parts together. I'm not sure why exactly we would go to the Moon from then on. I'm not sure why that could be. Maybe we will go there to actually blow up the Moon properly. Or I was thinking we may actually go there because there was something on the Moon that we don't know about. There's something there which we don't know why we need to actually go there at the moment, but we will find out in the future. Maybe there's some sort of device there, or there's some sort of being, or maybe even some sort of actual creature, physical essence, that we just don't know exists there at the moment, and that could be the reason as to why we go there in the future. But also, if you think about it, if this is the case, if this is why we're going to be going back to the Moon, because the gravitational potential pull has pulled all of these shards together, I think it won't actually be a remake and will just be a brand new Moon map, as Griffin Station will be destroyed, all of the pieces, the Moon will just be completely different. It won't be the same as we originally played it, which is why I don't think it may actually not be a remake. The next reasoning as to how we could actually be seeing Moon returning within Black Ops 3 Zombies could actually be a prequel to the original Moon map. Obviously, the characters, they can quite easily time travel, so that could be the reasoning as to how we actually get this Moon map. Or that it could actually be in another parallel universe, because at the moment in the Zombies storyline we're experiencing multiple parallel universes, and there is an absolute ton of different parallel universes of which we visited over the course of the Zombies storyline. Now, the universe of which I believe we're in at the moment is the original one that we've been playing from World at War onwards. I think that's the universe we're in at the moment, but we're obviously playing with the Origins characters, and I believe that Origins is another universe, and so on and so forth. I could be wrong on that one, but that's what I think at the moment. So as I said, this other Moon map that we could be playing as could be set in another universe, as we know that Richtofen's been going through multiple different parallel universes, and he's trying to essentially cross them off, as we do actually see from the Shadows of Evil scraps of paper. So that could be one other way of which we actually see Moon returning. The next way that we could actually be playing on one of these single shards on the moon, because we see that moon gets destroyed, but what if it's like transit? Because I know this is just horrible to actually think of, but transit was the Earth that was blown up. Now, obviously at the end of the moon Easter egg on Black Ops 1, we blew up the Earth. However, it wasn't fully blown up like the moon was within Der Eisendrache. Instead, it was sort of just cracked open. The Earth's surface was cracked open, which meant there was loads of lava and stuff like that on the surface. However, it was still playable. So what if the moon is actually returning, we're instead playing on this blown up moon? Maybe we'll just be playing on one of these single shards or some of the multiple different shards. If so, I definitely think once again that it won't be a remake and it'll probably be a brand new moon map, or maybe we'll be playing on the ruined destroys of Griffin Station and it may be cracked open and stuff like that. But if you actually think about it, although the moon has been broken up into loads of different shards, each individual shard will still be massive and the size of a country on Earth. So we could just be playing on one of these single shards on the moon, and maybe that's how we will be seeing moon returning. Or maybe one of these shards or even Griffin Station falls to Earth and that's how we actually see this map returning. Or again, temporal displacement could actually come into effect. But overall, I definitely do think that we will be seeing moon returning within Black Ops 3 Zombies within the DLC. As I said, whether that means we'll be seeing a remake or a brand new moon map, I'm not entirely sure at the moment, but let me know all of your thoughts on this down in the comment section down below. Basically, the point of this video was to tell you that even though we have seen the moon being exploded at the end of the Der Eisendrache Easter egg, this does not rule out the fact that we may be seeing moon returning, because Treyarch have left so many teasers and I just find it too hard to believe that we won't be seeing moon coming back. As he said, there's an absolute millennia of ways that Treyarch could pull this off, of which I've just listed now. They're just all the ones that I've come up with, but there could be a millennia more that we just don't know about, or just haven't thought of. So let me know down in the comment section down below, what other ways do you think we could be seeing moon returning within Black Ops 3 Zombies, as well as how it could correlate in terms of the storyline. Also, if you disagree with me, let me know, but I just see no reason how anyone could think that there isn't going to be a moon remake. There is no reason why Treyarch would give us a brand new loading screen for a map that doesn't exist. So anyways, thank you for watching the video, mate. Subscribe if you're new for the latest and greatest Black Ops 3 Zombies news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.